Okay guys, tonight I'm going to cook my version of Pollo Loco, El Pollo Loco. It's a dish that they serve at the Mexican restaurant, and it's basically just chicken and rice, chicken over a bed, grilled chicken over a bed of rice, and then they have a little bit of the Mexican cheese on it. So the first thing I'm going to do is start off with my chicken that I have seasoned here. I'm going to add some taco seasoning to my chicken, but for right now I've seasoned it in a little bit of garlic powder, onion powder, Italian seasoning, and a little bit of the taco seasoning for right now. And the reason why my skillet is already sizzling, because like I've said many times, I like my skillet to already be heated. So, and I'm using chicken breast tenderloin to cook this. So, like so, put it in my pan like so. And it's not too crowded. It looks like it is, but it's not. The chicken can still breathe. And for my Mexican rice, I'm going to take 1 cup of long grain rice. And I already have this skillet heated. By the way, I heated up 2 tablespoons of canola oil in both. So the first thing I want to do for my Mexican rice is I measured out about 1 cup. This is a 3/4 cup, but I kind of like try to overfill it so it can equal out to a cup. And I'm going to pour it in my oil. And I'm going to let this cook just like this until it gets brown. And then I have a mixture over here that I have set to the side. It's 2 cups of water, 1 tablespoon of bouillon, Italian seasoning, garlic powder, onion powder, and black pepper. Once my rice cooks and gets a browning on it, I'm going to add 8 ounces of tomato sauce to it. And then I'm going to add this and cover it and let it cook the rest of the way. While my chicken is cooking, once it gets done on one side, I'm going to add in some onion as well as some green pepper. And in this rice, once it gets brown, I'm going to add in some minced garlic. I'm probably going to add in some minced garlic to my chicken as well. So just keep on watching. So as you can see, my rice has now browned really good. I'm going to take my minced garlic in a small spoon, and I'm going to add in some of this garlic. And it sizzles a little because of course my eye has been on for a while. So I'm going to mix that in. And then I'm going to remove my rice from the heat. Once I do that, I'm going to add in my tomato sauce. And once I give that a good stir, I'm going to put it back on heat and add in my water mixture. So I'm just going to mix this up really well. And because my skillet was already hot, of course, the tomato sauce is getting good and marinated in the rice. I mean, you could have chosen to turn your eye off, but because I'm going to have to turn the eye right back on, I just moved it to the back eye. There you go. So we got that mixed in really good already. So now I'm going to add it back to the eye. And I just have my eye on medium heat. And I'm going to pour in my mixture. And then what I'm going to do next is cover it. Let it cook for about 10 to 15 minutes covered. I'm not going to lift my cover once I put it on because I trust that my rice will cook upright. I want all the water to be evaporated out of my rice. And that's how I know it's done. You can't overcook it if you just follow those directions. Just keep an eye on it. And just make sure all the water is evaporated into the rice. And don't take your lid off of your rice mixture. Now for my chicken, I'm getting ready to flip it over. I just went ahead and seasoned this side with a little of my taco seasoning. And this is just what it is, just taco seasoning. And it's not very strong, like the flavor is not very intense in this particular taco seasoning, so I know about how much I can use. So I'm just flipping my chicken over and I'm gonna let it cook on this side. And what's gonna happen is my chicken and my rice is gonna cook and be done at about the same time, because once I let this chicken cook on this side for about 2 to 3 minutes, I'm gonna start adding in my green pepper and onion, and I'm gonna start slicing up my chicken into smaller chunks. And I'll just show you how I do that. So I'm just gonna let this cook for about 2 to 3 minutes. I'm gonna cover my rice and then I'll show you the next step. Okay, so this is what my chicken is looking like. I went ahead and added my green pepper, my onion, and a little bit of minced garlic, and I'm still letting this cook. As you can see, you probably thought that my chicken was over seasoned in the beginning, but once it cooks down, you can tell that the seasoning kind of cooks into the meat and it's not as red as it was looking like from the taco seasoning or whatever. I went ahead and cut up my chicken into strips because that's just how I'm going to plate it on top of my rice. So I'm just going to let this cook and brown up a little bit more. My rice is at a great simmer right now, so by the time my rice is done, so will my chicken be. And I'm just gonna let you take a peek at how my rice is simmering. I won't remove the top because I don't want to interrupt the cooking process, but I will show you what it's looking like. So right off the bat, you probably can tell that my top is too big for my skillet. I don't have a top to go with this particular skillet, but as you can see, my rice is simmering, rather boiling, and you just kind of want to wait until all of your water is more so evaporated, and that's kind of how you can tell when your rice is done. You want to keep a close eye on the rice because you don't want it to stick or burn, but I've cooked this several times and I can kind of judge and tell how long. So right now it's probably been cooking with the top on it for about 7 to 8 minutes simmering. I'm going to give it about another 6 minutes and it should be done, as well as my chicken. So as you can see, it's cooking up really well. And I'll just show you guys once the finished product is completed. I wanted to say again that you'll know that your rice is done once the water is evaporated. If you're nervous or scared that the rice will burn or stick, it won't, because of the amount of water that you put in here. You put 2 cups of water. So it's pretty much at this point cooking like your normal rice would on top of the eye, like if you were cooking breakfast rice or just rice for dinner. Kind of like that if you know how to boil rice or cook rice. So it's not going to stick to the skillet. It won't. It's going to, especially if you're using a good skillet. And as long as you keep the top on it, it should be fine. So after you've added your water, about 10 to 15 minutes with it covered, that's the cook time. I mean, it varies, I guess, on whatever stove you're using. And, you know, everybody's stove is different. So you'll just have to, you know, just judge it by the water evaporation. So I know you're not supposed to lift the top off my rice, but for the purpose of the video, I want to show you guys what it's looking like. It's about done. This is what my chicken looks like. It's all done. I did add a little bit more taco seasoning because I tasted it and it was very under seasoned, and I like seasoned food, so I added some more taco seasoning. So this is what my chicken looks like, and then this is what my rice is looking like. As you can see, the water is evaporating out and you can see the rice. So I'm just going to lift this up. Okay, and we gotta let the fall. So this is what the rice is looking like. It's basically, the water is evaporated. I mean, you can at this point serve it, or you can continue to let it cook. Some people like their rice a little juicy. Others like theirs a little dry. It's just personal preference. So you can continue to let your rice cook, and all this, with a little bit of juice that is left, will slowly evaporate out. As you can see, it's not sticking. So yeah. And there you have it. The next clip will be me plating it up, or it would already be plated. So I'm going to take my rice. I'm going to put some rice on the bottom, chicken on top. And for my son and Mendez, I'm going to add a little bit of queso cheese. And you can just buy any kind of queso cheese in the store that you prefer. So yeah, I'm just going to put the top back on it because it's not yet done, and it goes back to simmering. So this is the final product. You have your rice, your chicken, and then a little bit of your queso, and that's just what it looks like. I hope you've enjoyed this video. Don't forget to comment, hit the like button, and subscribe to my channel for more cooking videos and daily vlogs and other content. Thank you for watching.